But Nadal and Federer, the final of the German Open in Hamburg.
Oh, yes.
What a match. Federer was up 5-1 in the first, lost that set. He was up 5-2 or 5-3 in the second, barely squeaked that set out.
Right.
Then he lost the third, but what a match that was. And then Nadal just cleaned his clock at the French. It was embarrassing.
And that was the same in Hamburg, Federer the previous year won that tournament, won that
beat him on clay for
the first time, and ended his 80. It was like an 88 game win streak. It was
actually
that Nadal had
actually
on clay.
You're right. He did break the streak. He did break the streak. You're right.
And it's amazing. And that same tournament, then Nadal was able to beat him, and then to blow him out in the front. I mean, have you ever seen a great player, has Sampras or Agassi or Lendl or McEnroe or Borg have they ever gone down?
I'm sure they have, but that even though you expect Nadal to do it on clay, I felt like Federer was just completely rattled, and he wasn't himself, and you could see it that he wasn't himself. There's no way even on clay that he should go down like that to Nadal. Even Nadal, who's arguably the greatest clay court player ever, already at age like 22.
Right.
But no, I never seen it like that. It was and I really felt like Nadal in his speech after the final, when he said he apologized to Federer for beating him like that, was so condescending.
Oh, man.
I really thought Federer was going to purposely crush him at Wimbledon just to say, how dare you, patronize me like that in front of the world after you beat me. And Nadal pulled it out. What a match.
God. And talking about Wimbledon, I mean, that was the greatest sporting event, like the greatest competition I've ever seen, like including, if you include football, basketball. But what made this beautiful is individual sport.
Yeah.
Man versus man.
Yeah.
Mano y mano.
All by yourself.
And
no one to turn to.
Oh, God, that's right.
No one to come in and substitute for you.
Yeah. Talk about when you were watching that match. Talk about
it took all day, obviously.
Exactly.
I didn't get anything done that Sunday because that match dragged out for like
3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah,
actually.
Until like what was it, 9 London time or something?
Right, around 8 o'clock.
Right before it got dark. It was just a phenomenal match, and I couldn't leave. I couldn't move. Even with the rain delays, that's when I could go get something to eat and whatever. But what a match, man! And for McEnroe to say that is the better than me and Borg in 80. I mean, come on, man. That was a match.
Yeah.
And the level of tennis was so incredibly high.
God, the shots that were made.
I watched it. They show it, once a week on the tennis channel.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Almost. Like they constantly show it, and I actually
I have to tape it. I have to make sure I have that on tape.
Yeah, you need that on tape. What a match, man. What a match.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And Federer, and after that, Nadal squeaking by him,
right.
Federer showed a lot of emotion as the year went on, especially the U.S. Open, where he was in trouble a couple of times.
He was. I'm sure he was happy to make sure that he finished the year
with one Grand Slam.
But I still say this, and I'll never change my mind on this. If he never wins another match, he's the greatest player ever to me.
Yeah.
If he never wins another match, the only person that I've seen that I think I will be able to say that about in the future, if he can do it right, is Tsonga. Tsonga is transforming the game. That's why I say 08 confirms that we are in the golden age, because these more athletic, bigger, taller, stronger guys are playing the game now. Del Potro from Argentina jumped into the top 10. What an amazing guy. He's like 6'6", 6'5", and he runs like he's, he can run, and that's the thing, like Tsonga, who's about 6'2" or 6'3" and like 200 pounds, bigger than any tennis player I've ever seen as far as weight-wise.
Right.
Runs like a gazelle. Like, he is so light on his feet. He is so fast.
Right.
It's incredible.
That's like wide receiver size.
Right.
In the NFL, he has
and
that
I would love to
athleticism.
see how quickly he could run the 40, because he is so fast. Del Potro, Andy Murray had a really good year.
Yeah.
He had a breakthrough year.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Another
Andy Murray.
fast one. Yeah.
I think he has to win Wimbledon in 2009.
He's going to win something.
It's his time.
If it's not Wimbledon, he'll win a major. I predict he'll win something before the end of this year. Yeah, he's another amazing player. He's got the great hands. He's got every shot in the book.
And the energy. It's funny. He's a Scottish Jimmy Connors.
Yeah.
He has that swag, and
he's got that
everyone
swag
wants to
and
cheer
that
for
kind
him.
of snarly and that kind of attitude. But it's the guys are really making tennis without tennis having to change what it is as far as coming up with some new rule or any of that. They came up with the shot spot rule and these types of things, but without changing anything really about the game. Basically, they're changing the game with their athleticism. They're doing things that you've never seen before that coaches probably would tell you can't do that, and they're doing it. And they are making the game more fan friendly. I think if Tsonga can win one major, it will do so much for tennis because so many people will see him win that major and want to play tennis because of the way he plays.
Wow.
I really feel that way. I actually feel that.
Especially the French.
Yeah, the French.
And if he does that,
Yeah, I don't think it'll be the French, though. I don't. I think it'll be something else.
Hardcore.
I think it'll be hardcore.
Australian or US Open. If he does the US Open.
Yeah, and it could be Wimbledon. He's done okay on grass. He didn't get to play grass Wimbledon last year because he was hurt.
Right.
But it could be Wimbledon. I don't think it'll be clay. I just don't. I don't think it'll be clay. But we'll see. This guy's an amazing player.
The overall accomplishment of athletics, from France has never been as high as now in the tennis world, male tennis.
Oh my God! I mean,
and it's the greatest the greatest 50, collection
50
of people
or 60 years ago. Of course, the Three Musketeers, Rene Lacoste and those guys, of course. But it's been a long time, obviously.
Right.
It's been a long time since Yannick Noah. They still haven't had anyone to win a major since Yannick Noah, but they've got the most players in the top 100 of any country in the world.
14.
They've got, Gael Monfils is number 13. Richard Gasquet was a little bit of a disappointment in 08, but he's so talented.
Around 22,
he could have a good 09. And they got a lot of players. Gilles Simon out of nowhere. He passed Tsonga, number 6, but they have a lot of really impressive players. They really do. Lodra, Benatar, Paul-Henri Matou. Who else do we see? Fabrice Santoro. He's almost my age.
He's still good.
No, he's not almost my age. Sorry. Yeah.